Unveiling the Elite, 702 of 736 Nobel Laureates linked to a singular academic network. Date, June 25, 2025. Overview. A groundbreaking analysis published in Nature has unveiled the intricate web connecting Nobel Prize laureates in science and economics, revealing that a staggering 702 out of 736 laureates are part of a singular academic network. This revelation has ignited discourse surrounding the implications of such a concentration of recognition within a tightly knit academic family. The findings suggest that the path to Nobel acclaim is profoundly influenced by mentorship and academic lineage, challenging the perception that individual merit alone drives success in the scientific community. Key findings. 1. Mentorship and academic lineage. The analysis conducted by Richard Tol traced the genealogical connections among Nobel laureates, illustrating a multi-generational influence where laureates often share mentors in ments. A notable example is John W. Strutt, who has 228 connected laureates through his academic descendants. This lineage underscores the cascading effect of mentorship, where the achievements of one laureate can significantly impact the success of others within the network. 2. Geographical disparity. The study reveals a pronounced geographical concentration, with approximately 54% of Nobel laureates based in North America. This disparity raises concerns about equity in scientific research, particularly for talented individuals who may not have access to the same resources and networks available in prestigious institutions. The findings highlight the systemic advantages enjoyed by those within this dominant academic enclave. 3. Criticism and skepticism. The analysis has prompted a wave of criticism, with some scholars arguing that the concentration of laureates within a singular network points to elitism and nepotism. Critics question whether this structure undermines the notion of meritocracy in science, suggesting that deserving candidates without similar connections may be overlooked. Others express skepticism regarding the belief that mentorship and academic lineage are significant factors in scientific success, positing that innate talent should be the primary determinant. For a cultural substructure, despite the criticisms, the analysis suggests that the existence of a high-productivity cultural substructure within science may not be inherently negative. Proponents argue that these networks facilitate collaboration, idea exchange, and innovation, which are essential for scientific progress. Eric Hole, a contributor to the discourse, emphasizes the need for improvements in fairness and accessibility while advocating for the protection of this productive subculture. Timeline of events. The findings of the analysis were shared widely across social media platforms, sparking dialogue among academics and the public. Dr. Mushtaq Bilal, who highlighted the implications of the data on platforms like X and LinkedIn, remarked on the overwhelming presence of Nobel laureates within a singular academic family. The study references a genealogical tree of Nobel laureates tracing 33 generations back to Erasmus, a historical figure instrumental in the establishment of early academic discourse. Discussions surrounding the analysis have evolved, with ongoing debates about the nature of success in science, the balance between meritocracy and systemic advantages, and the implications of academic networking on scientific recognition. In summary, the analysis published in Nature sheds light on the complexities of scientific recognition and the role of academic networks in shaping the landscape of achievement. It reveals a dual narrative of elite success intertwined with systemic inequities, prompting a re-evaluation of how scientific acclaim is distributed and the inherent structures that support it. As discussions continue, the academic community is faced with critical questions regarding the balance between fostering merit-based recognition and acknowledging the influence of established networks in the pursuit of scientific advancement. The analysis published in Nature, revealing that 702 out of 736 Nobel laureates are connected through a singular academic network, indeed presents counterintuitive information regarding the landscape of scientific achievement and recognition. Here are the key counterintuitive insights drawn from the content. 1. Merit versus network. the expectation is that Nobel laureates achieve their status primarily through individual merit, groundbreaking research, and innate talent. However, the analysis suggests that a significant portion of this recognition is tied to being part of a well-established academic lineage. This challenges the traditional view of meritocracy in science, positing that connections and mentorship may play a more critical role than previously acknowledged. 2. Elitism versus collaboration. Critics of the findings argue that the concentration of Nobel laureates within the same academic network indicates elitism and nepotism. However, the analysis also highlights that these networks can facilitate collaboration and innovation. The existence of an academic family may not solely be a product of exclusivity but can also serve as a mechanism for knowledge exchange and scientific advancement, which runs contrary to the notion that such networks are inherently negative or detrimental to diversity in scientific achievement. 3. Geographical bias. The geographical disparity in Nobel Prize awards, 54% being awarded to individuals in North America, might imply that talent is concentrated in certain regions. This could be interpreted as a reflection of systemic inequities, suggesting that only those within accessible academic and funding environments can attain such recognition. However, this challenges the belief that scientific excellence is uniformly distributed across the globe and raises questions about the fairness of the system, highlighting that many deserving scientists outside these networks may never receive the recognition they deserve. For cultural substructure, the idea that a productive cultural substructure exists within the scientific community is counterintuitive, as one might expect that all scientists operate independently based on merit alone. Instead, the existence of interconnected networks that foster high productivity and achievement suggests that collaboration and mentorship are essential components of scientific progress. This raises the question of whether the preservation of such networks is crucial for future advancements, which contrasts with calls for a more equitable distribution of opportunities. 5. Skepticism of talent. The analysis challenges the notion that innate talent alone accounts for success in science. The skepticism surrounding the clustering of Nobel laureates suggests a resistance to acknowledging the role of mentorship and academic lineage. This contradicts the common belief that great scientists emerge solely from individual brilliance, indicating that the development of scientific talent may be more communal than competitive. 6. Dual narrative of success. The narrative surrounding Nobel laureates shifts from one of individual achievement to a more complex interplay of communal success and systemic advantages. This dual narrative complicates the understanding of what it means to be successful in science, suggesting that recognition may be as much about institutional and relational dynamics as it is about personal contributions. These insights provide a nuanced understanding of the factors influencing scientific recognition, emphasizing the importance of academic networks and mentorship while also questioning the fairness and accessibility of the current systems in place. The implications of these findings challenge long-held beliefs about meritocracy in science and the nature of academic achievement, revealing a landscape where connections and collaborations significantly shape the trajectory of scientific careers. The recent analysis published in Nature, revealing that 702 out of 736 Nobel laureates in science and economics are interconnected through a singular academic network, holds significant implications that merit closer examination. While the overarching narrative of elitism and nepotism in scientific achievement may dominate discussions, several critical insights are often overlooked, which are essential for understanding the broader implications of this academic concentration. 1. The importance of mentorship in scientific progress. One of the most significant but frequently overlooked aspects of the report is the emphasis on mentorship and academic lineage. The analysis shows that many Nobel laureates have shared mentors, suggesting that the success of individuals in science is not solely dependent on their personal capabilities but is heavily influenced by their academic relationships. The example of John W. Strutt, whose influence can be traced to 228 Nobel laureates through his students, underscores a multi-generational impact that extends well beyond individual merit. This points to a systemic structure where established scientists cultivate future leaders. thus perpetuating a cycle of success that is deeply embedded within the academic fabric. Significance: this realization challenges the traditional narrative that scientific success is solely the result of individual genius. It invites a re-evaluation of how we assess merit and success in scientific fields, emphasizing the need for mentorship and institutional support. It suggests that fostering mentorship within academia could be a critical pathway to diversifying the pool of future Nobel laureates, thereby addressing systemic inequities. 2. Geographical disparity in access to resources. The report highlights a geographical concentration of Nobel laureates, with 54% based in North America. This statistic is crucial as it brings to light the disparities in access to resources, funding, and mentorship opportunities that exist in the global academic landscape. Talented individuals outside this dominant network often face significant barriers to entry, which can deter them from achieving recognition, regardless of their potential contributions. Significance: this geographical bias indicates a structural inequity in the distribution of scientific opportunities. It raises important questions about how institutions can work to create more inclusive environments that provide equitable access to resources. Recognizing and addressing these barriers is vital for fostering a more diverse scientific community that can contribute to innovation on a global scale. 3. Criticism and skepticism of the findings. The analysis has garnered criticism, with some arguing that the academic concentration reflects elitism and nepotism. Others assert that it undermines the notion of innate talent as the primary determinant of success in science. However, such criticisms often fail to acknowledge the nuanced reality of scientific achievement, which may inherently require both high levels of ability and access to a supportive academic network. Significance: the discourse surrounding this criticism is essential for broadening our understanding of success in science. It encourages a more holistic view that combines individual talent with the importance of social capital in academic settings. By grappling with these critiques, the scientific community can engage in meaningful dialogue about how to balance meritocracy with the realities of networking and mentorship. 4. Cultural substructure within science. The existence of a high-productivity cultural substructure within science, as outlined by Eric Hole, is another significant yet frequently overlooked insight. This cultural substructure fosters collaboration, innovation, and the exchange of ideas, which are vital for scientific progress. While the concentration of Nobel laureates within a specific network may raise questions about fairness, it also highlights the productive potential of these interconnected relationships. Significance: understanding this cultural substructure is crucial for recognizing the positive aspects of academic networking. Rather than viewing these networks solely as barriers to entry, it is essential to appreciate how they can drive scientific advancements. This perspective can inform policies aimed at maintaining the integrity of these networks while simultaneously working to increase diversity and accessibility within them. 5. The call for systemic change. Ultimately, the findings of this analysis call for systemic change within academic institutions. While it is important to protect the high-productivity networks that contribute to scientific innovation, there is also a pressing need to enhance fairness and accessibility in the academic landscape. This dual approach can create a more equitable system that recognizes and rewards talent, regardless of one's academic lineage or geographic location. Significance: systemic change is essential for fostering a scientific community that is reflective of diverse backgrounds and perspectives. By prioritizing equity and access to mentorship and resources, institutions can cultivate a new generation of scientists who can contribute to the advancement of knowledge in meaningful ways. Conclusion. In summary, the analysis of Nobel laureates' interconnectedness reveals profound insights into the nature of scientific achievement that often go unnoticed. The roles of mentorship, geographical disparities, and the cultural substructure within science offer a more nuanced understanding of how success is achieved in this field. Addressing the systemic inequities highlighted by this report is vital for cultivating a more inclusive and diverse scientific community that can drive progress in innovative ways. By recognizing and acting upon these insights, we can work towards a future where scientific acclaim is accessible to all deserving individuals, regardless of their background or connections. 1. Mentorship and academic lineage. The analysis highlights the critical role of mentorship and academic lineage in shaping the landscape of scientific success. With 702 out of 736 Nobel laureates linked through shared mentors, mentor, or academic descendants, it becomes evident that the achievements of these laureates are often interwoven. The cascading effect of mentorship means that the success of one laureate can significantly influence multiple generations of scientists. This observation challenges the narrative that individual merit alone determines recognition and success in academia, suggesting instead that being embedded in a well-connected academic network can vastly enhance one's chances of being awarded prestigious honors like the Nobel Prize. The example of John W. Strutt and his extensive network of connected laureates underscores the multi-generational influence of mentorship in science, where the lineage of ideas and research can continue to bear fruit long after the original contributors have passed. 2. Geographical disparities. The geographical concentration of Nobel laureates, particularly in North America, raises significant questions about equity and access in the scientific community. With 54% of Nobel Prizes awarded to individuals based in North America, the analysis suggests that the opportunities afforded by prestigious institutions and funding sources disproportionately favor researchers in this region. This geographic disparity implies that talented scientists from other parts of the world may struggle to gain recognition and resources, potentially stifling diversity in scientific innovation. The implication is that systemic barriers exist that prevent equally deserving candidates from receiving accolades simply because they are not part of the dominant academic networks found in North America. This point opens up discussions about global equity in science, the need for supportive infrastructures in underrepresented regions, and how the scientific community can work toward a more inclusive recognition system. 3. Criticism and skepticism. The analysis has sparked considerable debate and criticism, particularly concerning the notions of elitism and nepotism inherent in the findings. Critics argue that the concentration of Nobel laureates within a singular academic network indicates systemic inequalities that favor certain individuals over others based on connections rather than merit. This raises ethical questions about the fairness of the Nobel Prize selection process and the broader implications for scientific recognition. Moreover, the skepticism surrounding the influence of mentorship on scientific success challenges the idea that innate talent is the sole determinant of achievement. This discourse is important as it prompts a re-evaluation of how we perceive success in scientific fields and the potential biases that influence recognition. The pushback against the analysis underscores a tension between traditional views of meritocracy and the realities of interconnected academic networks, highlighting a need for an open dialogue about the values and structures that underpin scientific accolades. 4. Cultural substructure of science. The article posits that while the existence of a high-productivity cultural substructure within science may appear exclusive, it can also serve as a facilitator for collaboration and innovation. Advocates argue that these interconnected networks enhance the exchange of ideas, fostering an environment where groundbreaking research can flourish. The recognition that such networks have historically contributed to scientific progress suggests a dual narrative, one that acknowledges the benefits of collaborative environments while also recognizing the necessity for improvements in fairness and accessibility. The call to protect these productive subcultures while advocating for greater equity reflects a complex understanding of the dynamics within scientific communities. It prompts discussions about how to balance the benefits of established networks with the need for inclusivity and diversity in scientific endeavors, ultimately raising important questions about the future of academic collaboration and recognition in an increasingly interconnected world. 1. The case of the Old Boys Network in British politics. Throughout the 20th century, British politics was often criticized for being dominated by a select group of elite institutions, particularly Oxford and Cambridge. This phenomenon was referred to as the Old Boys Network, where connections formed in these institutions led to significant advantages in political careers. Prominent leaders like Winston Churchill and Tony Blair were products of this network. Critics argued that this entrenched elitism stymied diversity and the representation of broader societal interests, similar to the concerns raised about academic networks among Nobel laureates. 2. The Nobel Prize controversy of 2018. In 2018, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Donna Strickland, making her only the third woman to win the award in the category's history. This sparked discussions about the underrepresentation of women in science and how networks of mentorship and recognition often favor established male scientists. Critics pointed to the need for systemic changes within the scientific community to ensure that deserving candidates from diverse backgrounds are recognized, echoing themes from the recent analysis of Nobel laureates' interconnectedness. 3. The Sociology of Science and Robert K. Merton's work. Robert K. Merton, a prominent sociologist, explored the social structures within scientific communities in the mid-20th century. His concept of the Matthew effect described how well-known scientists tend to receive more recognition than lesser-known peers, creating a cycle of advantage. Merton's analysis indicated that social networks and mentorship played a crucial role in scientific recognition, much like the recent findings regarding the Nobel laureates' academic lineage. His work highlighted the importance of understanding how social dynamics shape scientific progress and acknowledgments, similar to the current debate surrounding the Nobel Prize analysis. The analysis highlighting the interconnectedness among Nobel laureates presents a complex landscape of scientific achievement that warrants a forward-looking perspective. As we navigate the evolving dynamics of academia, mentorship, and recognition, several predictions can be made regarding the future of scientific accolades, collaboration, and equity in research. 1. Growing emphasis on inclusivity and diversity. In the coming years, the academic community will likely place a stronger emphasis on inclusivity and diversity within prestigious awards like the Nobel Prize. As criticisms surrounding elitism and geographical bias gain traction, institutions may implement reforms aimed at recognizing outstanding contributions from a broader spectrum of researchers. This shift could manifest in mentorship programs targeting underrepresented groups, increased funding for diverse research initiatives, and the establishment of alternative awards that celebrate excellence outside traditional networks. 2. Evolution of academic networks. The analysis indicates that current academic networks significantly influence the trajectory of scientific success. Moving forward, these networks may evolve to become more inclusive and globalized. The rise of digital collaboration platforms will facilitate connections among researchers from various backgrounds and regions, thereby democratizing access to mentorship and resources. This transformation could lead to the emergence of new academic families that do not solely rely on established institutions, ultimately reshaping the landscape of scientific achievement. 3. Redefining meritocracy in science. The conversation around meritocracy in science will likely undergo a profound transformation. As the impact of mentorship and academic lineage becomes increasingly recognized, the definition of merit may expand beyond individual accomplishments to include contributions to collaborative efforts and community engagement. Future accolades may celebrate not just groundbreaking discoveries but also the ability to foster talent and promote knowledge sharing across diverse groups. 4. Increased scrutiny of award processes. The Nobel Prize and similar accolades may face heightened scrutiny regarding their selection processes. As transparency becomes a critical demand from both the academic community and the public, award committees may be compelled to disclose their criteria and decision-making processes. This transparency could foster greater trust and accountability in the awarding of recognition, potentially leading to reform in how nominees are evaluated. 5. The role of technology in shaping research. Technological advancements will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in the future of scientific research and recognition. Artificial intelligence and data analytics will increasingly inform research methodologies, enabling more efficient collaborations and fostering innovative approaches to problem solving. These technologies may also facilitate the identification of promising researchers who may otherwise remain overlooked within traditional networks. 6. Globalization of scientific recognition. As scientific research becomes more globalized, the distribution of Nobel Prizes and other prestigious awards may reflect a broader range of contributions from diverse regions. This globalization could encourage cross-border collaborations that leverage unique cultural perspectives and methodologies, ultimately enriching scientific discourse. Awarding bodies may need to adapt to this shift by recognizing achievements that arise from collaborative efforts involving international teams. 7. Recognition of alternative metrics of success. Future evaluations of scientific contributions may increasingly incorporate alternative metrics beyond traditional accolades. These could include community impact, interdisciplinary collaboration, and contributions to open science. As the academic community recognizes the importance of diverse contributions, the way success is measured may shift towards a more holistic understanding of impact and significance. 8. Potential for new scientific paradigms. The interconnectedness of Nobel laureates underscores the potential for new scientific paradigms to emerge from collaborative efforts. As networks expand and diversify, researchers may explore innovative interdisciplinary approaches that transcend traditional boundaries. This evolution could lead to breakthroughs in fields such as climate science, health, and technology, driven by collaborative insights drawn from varied perspectives. Conclusion: a transformative era for science. In summary, the future of scientific recognition and achievement holds the promise of transformative change driven by inclusivity, technological advancement, and evolving definitions of merit. As the academic landscape continues to adapt, the legacy of the Nobel Prize and similar accolades may be reshaped to reflect a more equitable, diverse, and collaborative scientific community. This evolution not only stands to enhance the integrity of scientific recognition but also to enrich the global discourse on knowledge and innovation.